Hello to everyone. Total Decision uses obviously the analytic hierarchy process as an engine to find solutions at all levels and align them with the organization objectives. You can download free a student version with a student license and download free and try free the software at this link. And if you want to contact us, please, you can write us the info@bilenio.com. Well, you all read, and I will not repeat what this PPT show. I will show you rapidly the software. Yes, here. Or you can see the software. This is Total Decision. Total Decision is a software developed in Chile, and sorry. Total Decision is in English and Spanish, and obviously you can build a model, insert alternatives, and determine all overall score. In Total Decision, the full version, you can add participants and a group by group, and you can see result by individuals and by group. The main feature of Total Decision is the function to analyze the compatibility between the judgment of the experts. Total Decision analyzes the result vectors to determine the degree of compatibility between the results using the compatibility index G, Garuti Compatibility Index. In recent works with a mining company, the G compatibility index was used to carry out an analysis of the views of the different managements in the different mines that belong to the company. Thus, it was possible to obtain a robust and reliable method to determine if the prioritization between the objectives in the different mines were compatible or not with each other and with respect to the global vision of the management at the national level. If all participants here we are seeing in this screen the judgment from the expert, and all this judgment can be analyzed by the index compatibility. This index compatibility is the main feature of Total Decision, and you can see obviously the degree of compatibility between the groups. In this example, you can see different numbers. Over 85% are considered compatible. Over 95% is very compatible. Under 85 are considered incompatible. This compatibility also can be shown as by criteria and in a chart. You can see here all the profiles of the different actors, expert participants in the software. Total Decision also has a robust compatibility with Microsoft Excel, and you can obviously see the results of the mission rule, you can obtain the global inconsistency of the model. The powerful connection con Excel is another main feature with total decision is it be easy to export, for example, all data to Excel. Here, we export all data to Excel, and you can in Excel you can add more alternatives if you want. For example, new projects can be added at the analysis, and this can be easily import to Excel. Import to total decision, import grid, and we can add new alternatives. So you can obtain the result in data grid or also in charts. Also, total decision have sensitive analysis. You can perform, for example, a dynamic analysis. You can perform this analysis, and all these features, except for index compatibility and participant, are available in the student version of total decision, which in the web page below. And how much time we left? How much time we are?
How much time do we have?
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Okay, thanks.
Another feature of total decision is that you can perform a Monte Carlo simulation and analyze, for example, the alternatives. Let's see an example.
The behavior of the term, the behavior.
Total decision is calculating the result of the behavior of the alternatives. You can export this result in a CSV file, and you can see obviously the behavior of the alternatives and all of them in one chart, for example, here. And you can perform different analyses to these alternatives, and all these results can be exported easily to Microsoft Word or Excel or PowerPoint, whatever you want. You can perform an individual analysis, get all this value, and compare the result with Monte Carlo and with the discrete value who was obtained with the traditional AHP methodology. Do you want to
say anything? No, I hope I wait for questions. Any questions?
It is a very, very nice tool. It is powerful. I am curious to adopt it and to use it in my model. I think that it is very interesting because it is possible to do a lot of things with your total decision software, and it seems that it is very simple to use, and the most nice characteristic is that we can contemplate several experts, not only one expert. I understand well?
Yes,
Right.
yes, you can add different experts, and obviously this feature is only available in the commercial or professional version of Total Decision. In the student version, which is available in the Bilenio, in web page Bilenio, this feature is not included.
Okay.
Okay.
I understand, but it is very cheaper, your software. It is very expensive, your software.
No.
Depends. Depends on the wallet.
Just a
No, it's not
curiosity.
expensive.
No.
Just a curiosity. To aggregate the different judgment, do you use geometric mean?
No. Yes.
No?
Yes,
One.
right.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
One way
Okay.
to capture the different judgments.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Very, very nice. Any question from all the attendees? Curiosity?
Yes, I have a question. I was thinking this is a web-based application. Is the data stored? Where is the data stored, and whether we can retrieve the data? Because I've seen some applications in which you cannot really retrieve the data.
Is it web-based?
Sí. No, Total Decision is a desktop version.
Oh,
it's a
desktop version.
Not a web version. No.
Oh,
it's
okay.
desktop.
Okay.
It's desktop.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yes. What is?
We have the time for just another question. Any other questions?
I have a question.
So how do you capture the decisions from multiple users on the desktop version?
Yes. Yes.
¿Dónde las capturas?
No de captura, no. Es only for a live, ¿cómo se diría?
Available?
No. Cuando tú vas, llevas la computadora y haces la sesión, que no en vivo. Que no en vivo, sino que tú haces la sesión.
It's not it's not alive. I mean, you have to make the session with the people in front of you, but also you can use your cellular as to get the input, to get the data from the different people.
Yes.
Okay.
Total Decision professional version and has the feature of to get data from mobile phone. In this moment, we cannot show you how to, but it's possible. See? Yes. And currently we are developing Total Decision 2, which will facilitate to get data from different experts online and show the compatibility degree between them in order to reach better consensus. It will Total Decision 2. It will be work in a web.
It's important. Online. It's important to understand that the geometric mean that is used to add all the people, you can also see how compatible is every individual with the geometric mean. So you can work in the person or group of persons that are so too far from the geometric mean. It's very interesting that features, because you can see in what criteria, in what criterion in specific, you have some problem or not consensus.
Okay.
Okay. It is very, very interesting. I think that we can start with the second presentation, but if some attendees have any other question, we can give more time to the question at the end of the presentation. In this way, all presenters have the same time. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Claudio, because I think that your tool is, your software is a powerful software. See you
later.
Thank
you, Antonella.
So we can start with the second presentation. The presenter is Soviet, and pardon me for my pronunciation. And if you want, okay, perfect. You anticipate me.
Okay.
And please go ahead.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Soviet Paudel, and I am a software developer, and I'm from Nepal. And today I'm presenting our mobile app, Decision Mentor, which implements AHP for personal decision support. Before that, I would like to thank the symposium organizing committee, and especially Roseanne and Elena for giving us this opportunity to be a part of this community. So today I will briefly go over how we came to develop the application and what are some of the main features of the application. And if time permits, I will also show a demo of the mobile app. Okay. So how did we start the Decision Mentor mobile app? I came to learn about the AHP from my neighbor and also my mentor, Mr. Sashi Botrai, who is in the committee here, and it was his idea that we build the mobile app using the AHP so that general individuals can get to use the power of AHP, as AHP has many applications. And that idea was very interesting for me. And so although we had been talking about that for a long time, we got time to work on this project only during the COVID lockdown situation, as we had some free time. And so initially I started by learning about the AHP metrics operations by reading various papers. And then we went back and forth to see like what kind of applications are already out there. And mainly on the mobile field, mobile devices, there weren't really many applications of the AHP. And so we created the application, and now the application is live in both Android and Apple Play stores, and the mobile app is completely free for use. But since this was our first version of the release, and we wanted to go to the market and to get user feedback early, we have a very limited features as of now. So to highlight some of the features of our application, right now the application supports only 2 levels of hierarchy. So and it has up to 5 support for up to 5 alternatives and 5 criteria, and we have a pairwise comparison, and we also have the sensitivity dynamic analysis. And so now I will continue to show the demo of our app. Okay. So this is our app. I'm running the app right now on my laptop on my emulator. And so for the app, we wanted our users to be able to play with some of the sample decisions. Since we are giving the AHP to common people who have no idea of what AHP is, it was important for us to build some sample decisions beforehand. And so we have tried to create some diverse sample decisions preloaded, like which career choice is best for me, or best business school for me, so that the users can get to learn about the app easily. Now I'll go start a flow of starting a new decision, and let's say I want to know which project I want to start. So which project, best project to invest. Okay, so the project is here, and this is an detailed screen, so we can add choices, which are alternatives, and criteria here. So adding a choice, let's say we have a few projects that we want to compare. Okay. And as I mentioned earlier, it has support for up to 5 alternatives and 5 criteria. So the criteria can be for the project complexity, cost, and or return of investment. So I created the alternatives and criteria, and now the user can go ahead and perform the pairwise comparison of the criteria. And so let's say complexity and cost, we can set our preferences here. I can say that complexity and cost are equally important, but return of investment is more important than complexity. And similarly, ROI is more important than cost. So in this way, we can build a criteria, and then on the next stage, we can compare. We can perform the pairwise comparison of the alternatives with the versus the criteria. So project 1 versus project 2, which is more complex. Let's say project 1 is slightly more complex, and project 2 and 3, project 3 is slightly complex. And similarly, we can perform the comparison with other criteria. I'm picking project 2 as most expensive here, and project 3 slightly expensive. And similarly, on the ROI, I would say project 3 has the highest ROI, and they have other have the same ROI. And once we perform the pairwise comparison, the user can move on to see the results of the comparison. So based on the user choice, we can see the best choice here, which is project 3, and since the ROI has the highest value here. But if the user wants a more complex project, he can see which project is more applicable for him. And similarly, he can play with the cost. And yeah, so this is the current stage of our application. This is the version 1. And right now we are getting some feedbacks from our users, and we want to build on this version and come up with a better.
Just 3 minutes left.
Okay, I'm almost done. So this is the current stage of our application, and for the next version, we are planning to take this to the web version as well, so that we can get more users to find, so that more users can find our decision mentor app easily. And also for the mobile app, we have some other feedbacks and suggestions that we will be rolling out soon. And yeah, if you want to try out the application, you can find the app in our from our decisionmentor.app domain, and we have links for both Android and Apple phone on the website. So yeah, I think I would conclude my presentation here. If anyone has any questions.
Savit, thanks for your nice, clear presentation.
Okay.
If there are any question from attendee?
Antonella, may I add something?
Yeah.
May I add something?
Yes, please.
Yes. What we have also think that this is example of decision visualization. Till now we have data visualization, but people really in the coming days, in the future, now it's very difficult to decide. So one can visualize their decision so that there will not be confusion. They'll see how that decision came out with their judgment, with the factors. So decision visualization is the word we have coined with this app. That's just I want to add the keyword decision visualization. But we have a lot to work on this. We are just released first version and then getting feedback and focusing on this decision visualization. So we have a lot to do with this data capture, connecting with the analytics and all that. That is on the down the road. Thank you very much. I think
thank you to you. Had some question?
Can I make a comment? I'd like to tell you a little historical thing. Is it okay?
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Shortly after the first international symposium in China in 1988, my husband started talking about having something you could hold in your hand to make decisions. At the time, remember, we barely had a software desktop version, barely. And cell phones were not on the scene at all. So he's looking ahead, and he didn't forget it. He kept talking about this, you know, through the 90s, and then cell phones started appearing. But I think that you're getting there. So congratulations. I wish he was here to see it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, it is very nice, a nice tool also for not expert people, and it is an opportunity to use HP also for not expert. I wonder if there are some questions or
I have a question. Well, first of all, I think it's very interesting. You know, you can carry that, and next time somebody invites you to go out, you say, "Wait a minute, let me see. What do you do, etc." But the question is, this software is going to be available for download free of charge, or is it going to be some price? How do you plan to distribute, and how do you plan to, I guess, to recover your costs or even make profit on this? What's your market?
Yes. Right now, the app is completely free, and what we have is we have kind of advertisements that come up, like when you have like use the app for like a certain time, the advertisement will show up. So that is one source we have in mind at the moment. And but since the app is still in its early stage, and we will be adding more features, and we have some premium features in mind. But right now everything is free, so that we can attract more users, right, Sashanko?
Okay.
Mr. Podell, so finally I'll be able to use AHP. And there is a question on the chat from Dr. Veziroglu. Just in the comparison stage, you did not use 2, 4, and 8. Am I right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't write 6.
Yeah, we have 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 at the moment.
Just a curiosity, is it possible to check the consistency of judgment?
Yeah, actually, we have that in place as well. But for this release, we didn't display it to the users because we thought that our users will not be aware of the consistency index, right? Because they are not used to this kind of distant modeling. So that calculation is in the background, but we got that feedback earlier from somebody else as well. So we will be displaying that in our next versions to make the user aware that how his choices are being consistent or not.
In the future, do you think to put more level in the hierarchy as well, the consistency?
The main challenge is our mobile app has a very small screen, and it is a challenge for us to display the hierarchy and get the user to move through the hierarchies. But we have that in our, we have planned that for the future, but only if the user is asking for it. I might consider bringing it. Yeah.
It's very nice. I'm sorry. It's very, very nice. I like it very much.
I think that probably you should just keep it at one level because it's something very practical. I want to make a decision, choose this or that, and the criteria is this. So it's for, quick and relatively simple, but still important decision. Yeah. But the consistency is something that I think is really important. Perhaps you can have two choices. Force consistency, when you work with just the minimum tree span and calculating consistency. Just an idea. But
excuse me to interrupt you, but Margarita suggests us to move on the next presentation, and then we can stay longer after the last presentation. So excuse me, and I ask to Gabriella and Paola if they are ready to start with their presentation. Thank you, Sovit. Thank you, Sashi.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, we can start with Paola. In this work, we have two presenters, Paola and Gabriella. So, Paola, go ahead.
Okay. Do you see the screen?
Not yet.
No, not yet. Okay, this.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. Thank you very much, Antonella. Good afternoon to all the participants in the meetings. Before starting, I must point out that this presentation will be in two voices. Okay. I will deal with the aspects related to data sources and indicators, and Gabriella will illustrate the aspects most closely related to the use of the model. Okay, the aim is this. In this paper, we investigate and compare the performance of Italian public high schools, deriving a ranking of different types of school to achieve a dual purpose: to provide the citizen more complete information about the high school, and to give parents a tool to support their children in the school choice. In other words, this paper aims at providing students and their parents with a helpful tool for synthesizing the several elements involved in the school choice. In literature, it is well known that many factors may affect parents and their children in the school choice. For example, some scholars show that parents' choice are influenced by the academic performance of students. Italian scholars, for example, have analyzed the effect on students' achievements of school size and other significant characteristics such as school management, resources, etc. More recently, in a pilot study focused on a small geographic area, Mancini and Marcarelli simultaneously considered students' academic performance, students' school performance, and school characteristics. Characteristics to derive a ranking of high school. Our research at this step of the analysis aims at extending the above studies nationwide and providing the ranking of different types of school by remarking the geographical differences too. The data on 263 high schools refers to 2017-2018 school year and come from Eduscopio and Scuola in Chiaro portals, which provide for each school indicators on school performance, academic performance, and school characteristics, as in the table, as in the prospect. We consider 6 types of school located in the capital region: classic, scientific, linguistic, human science lyceums, commercial, technological, technical high schools. And in this first step of our study, we analyze the mean values for each indicator by type of school and geographic area, providing a detailed description of the decision problem. Each mean value has been obtained as a weighted arithmetic average according to the number of students for each school. Please, Gabriella, you can go.
Okay. In the second step of our study, we propose an ISAHP model to hierarchically represent the school choice problem. We analyze data related to Italian high schools with regard to 3 criteria: the school performance, academic performance, and school characteristics. For each criterion, we consider a number of basic indicators. For example, to analyze the school performance, we consider the high school leaving score or the Imbalsi test score. To evaluate academic performance, we take into account the percentage of students passing the first year. As regards school characteristics, we analyze the number of students per class and the percentage of teachers employed for more than 5 years. Based on past studies on this topic, we assign different weights to criteria. Academic and school performance are considered more important than school characteristics. On the bottom level of this hierarchical structure, we have the 6 types of high schools that have to be compared with respect to each performance indicator. So we construct 11 pairwise comparison matrices, which entries are given by the ratios between the performance of 2 types of schools with regard to a given indicator. Our model provides parents with a tool for selecting the best type of school. The hierarchical structure describes the general framework in which parents have to move and provides more complete information about all the elements they have to take into account for selecting the best school type for their children. Based on their preferences, parents will be able to assign to criteria different weights according to their the importance they attribute to them. Based on the weights we assign to criteria, we calculate the global and the relative priority vectors. Our results are in line with those obtained in the pilot study in a small geographic area. The top of the ranking it mainly includes classical and scientific lyceum, whereas the bottom of the ranking includes commercial and technical high schools. Moreover, we highlight that the ranking does not vary by area, but only the intensity of preferences may be different according to geographic area and the criterion we consider. More details are shown in the next slide.
Thank you, Gabriella. In fact, looking at this figure, three groups of scholars at three groups of school at national level you can see in this part of the figure, and where you see classic and scientific lyceum at the top together, in the middle linguistic lyceum alone, and on the bottom of the graph you can see human science and human science lyceum and technical high school together. Considering the global priorities by geographic area, this and this, north, center, and the south, you can see only two separate groups for the north, because linguistic lyceum is closer to classic and scientific one, and again three groups, but different respect to Italy. And again, three groups for the center and the south. Moving from global to partial priority, in particular to school performance priorities and academic performance priority, you can see that the gap increase respect the global priorities, and in particular with reference to school achievements. For example, the classic lyceum seem to perform better and better as you move from the north to the south, and on the contrary, the scientific lyceum seems to worse in If you can see to academic performance or academic achievements, the relative priorities of scientific and classic lyceums, besides assuming practically the same highest value, they not vary territorially. No pattern it emerges as concerns school characteristics. So, to conclude, the results show that the ranking does not vary, but the intensity of preferences may be different according to geographic area and or the specific criterion used. The sensitivity analysis highlights that the preference between scientific and classic lyceum in particular largely depends on the importance assigned to criteria. So, considering their preference, parents may attribute personal weight to each indicator in order to derive a ranking of school in their area. But due to the specificity of the Italian school system, mainly based on public high school, less than 5% of schools are private, our analysis cannot be extended to international context, in which private schools are more widespread. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Paola. Thank you, Gabriella, for your nice presentation and very, very clear. Any questions from attendees? Curiosity?
May I ask a question, please?
Yes.
How many questions you have to do with the parents I think it was a lot of questions, right?
No, we have aggregated data.
And where you
we have only data on school performance, academic performance, and school characteristics.
Our data are not judgments,
okay.
judgment of parents.
Because in one slide it says that you make comparisons,
We make comparison between pairs of performance values with respect to each indicator, each performance indicator, but we compared just numeric values given.
So you use hard data.
You
use hard data.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Just a curiosity, how did you choose indicators?
We considered some indicators suggested by Eduscopio. And other indicators, we constructed some other indicators by considering some other factors not directly examined by Eduscopio and the Scuola in Chiaro.
So you and Paola select indicators, define indicators.
Yes.
Based on the information including in these two portals, which represent the only data set about the performance of Italian high schools.
Okay, so the expert team is formed by you and Paola, or some other expert?
We have, as I said before, this is a particular decision problem. We apply the HP not in the traditional way. So parents may use this structure, this model, just to select the best school choice, the best school type, assign the weights, different weights to criteria and indicators, but the alternatives are the performance of all the alternatives with respect to indicator is given.
Okay. Some other questions or curiosity?
I guess my question is, as a parent of a kid that I'm trying to figure out what school to send them to, I'd say to send him to, her to, you kind of have to think about the kids' preferences. What are they? Are they good at science? Are they good at technology? Are they good with screwdrivers, or are they good with thinking up things? It seems that there needs to be some connection between your child and the school you send him to. You don't want to send a dancer to an engineering school, for example. I mean, I know you don't have those, but I wonder if there is some way to sort of customize the choice for your child.
If I understood, this is only a tool to select a school between a group of schools, between a group of lyceums, between a group of technical school. It depends from the decision of children and parents according to the school of the area. This is a tool.
It will be interesting to launch a survey in a small geographic area, to limit the analysis in a small geographic area, to do to have information about the preferences of a group of students, a group of parents. But it is necessary to launch a survey in a small area.
I thought it was interesting, your geographic areas, which schools were the best. I think you made some comment about in the north, these are the better schools, in the south, different.
Yes.
A very nice study. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some other questions? Okay. Thank you again, Paola and Gabriella. And I take this opportunity to say if there are some other curiosity from the other presentation for the software and the app, because we have finished all presentation. So if somebody has some question for also other presentation, please go ahead. Otherwise, we will finish our session.
This is Luis. I have a, I just discovered that there was a person in Forms, you know, the Institute for Operational Research and Management Science. And there was I think it was more like an ad that he was himself, a person in the US has put out a mobile application of the AHP to do consulting himself. I can't find the exact location, but I know Informs has such mobile applications. So I don't know exactly I didn't see any. I just noticed that my student, former student Gabi, is the one who pointed out that implementation. And it's a person in somewhere in, I think he's in Virginia, somewhere down there to do. He has his own company. So if I find it, I'll send it to maybe Enrique or to the ISAHP group and see if I can. But as I said, I was aware of the existence of that implementation, and I don't. Apparently, I mean, this is something. You know, Informs is not necessarily the most receptive society for AHP because they still are hung up with the idea of rank reversal. But despite that, there are members in the society who are working with it tremendously. So I just want to mention that, so you can, if you dig up a little bit into the Informed society, you'll find somebody who's actually using it. And it's a commercial application. I don't know all the details about pricing because I didn't pursue that yet. But I was trying to look for it. I couldn't find it. Maybe I deleted the email. But I just want to mention to you that those of you who work in that area, Shashi, for example, right? That might be interesting to see what they did and how you differ from what they did, because that's how you benefit from their experience, maybe. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Luis Vargas. There are some mobile application based in AHP, but what we are trying to do is focusing on covered people, so that it should not be scientific kind of operation on that. Still, we are getting feedback that the common people, they are feeling is more like a technical kind of operation while using. Is the one thing. The other thing is we are giving experience of decision visualization. So till now, people are saying data visualization is more important to visualize decision. Even if you have a data indicator in isolation, when you use ASP and visualize the decision, so indicators integrated, and then sensitivity, dynamic sensitivity analysis, visualize the decision. But that kind of the level we could come, Soviet could come out, is we have not yet seen. We are doing a survey, as we have mentioned in the paper proposal. We have not yet finished on, I would say, the academic part of this app development. So thank you very much, Luis, and thank you very much, Rojan. And then Professor Sachi, he always used to tell me that ASP should be common people. There's an enterprise decision support system. They can pay a huge amount of money. The poor people in some part of Africa, or some part of Asia, or some part even in the US, the common people, they are crying for their decision, and then they're maybe having psychological problem to clarify their confusion. So we are trying to help them and to simplify the presentation, their experience. We are designing, we're using young, experienced designers.
Yes.
So just to let you know that in the last few months,
we are very early, step one, it's a 1% stage. So
even in the law, for example, it's being tried to use. We had a relationship with Rand Corporation, and we wrote this white paper to measure the impact of gun laws on lawful people who are legally owners of gun in the U.S. because this is a big mess. And actually, we got about 30K to write this white paper, and we wrote it and we sent it in. Had to measure the impact of the laws, and there is an RFP that will come soon out there to actually implement a little bit of it. So how you implement it to the entire population, that's very important, right? But it's not enough to get just experts. This is not about experts. This is about how the groups of people like hunters, paramilitary, how do the protectionists, collectors, how do they feel about it? Is how do you gather all that information in such a way that you have a good representation of the entire large population? And that is not just about software, right? It's about how you implemented the design. And that's what we are challenged to prepare. I mean, there's not a lot of money on that anyway, but the center we started to do something, and that's basically one direction we found. How do you make more money for the center? We wrote this paper, and lo and behold, we got this money. We didn't even think we had a prayer to get anything, but we got it. They said, oh, look at that. This is different. It's no longer statistical analysis of data from gun controls policies and the effect on people, right? So that's what I'm saying, is that even in the legal sense, this theory is extending little by little. And when people look at it, they say, oh, that's different. It's not statistical analysis. It's more than that. It's about what people think, what people feel about it, which is very important. So that's just to let you know that what you are doing is very important, definitely, in all areas of the world.
I agree. And I think Tom would be very, very pleased. So he would have liked everybody to be using it in some simple way.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Luis. Please share the link if you find the company that you were talking about.
I will try to find it. I will try to find it for you. As I said, silly of me that I actually deleted the link because I wasn't thinking about it. Because I'm not into software development, right? I'm a user of the theory more than anything else. So.
Okay.
I like that you included a best life partner hierarchy selection. You know? I think that's going to make it very popular among the teenagers, I guess. Very good, thank you.
The target customers are of younger age.
Okay. Sashi, do you have any download data? Have people started using this application, or is it too soon to know?
Which one?
The Sashi's application, the mobile application.
Have people started to use it?
It's 100 plus down. We have not marketed now. Exact number we don't know.
Just marketing via word of mouth, asking friends to download and try it out. So we only have about 100 downloads on Android and similar on iOS. But once we take the feedback that we are getting right now and come up with another version, we will be marketing it a little more, and we might see different numbers.
But you're only using Android, I heard, no iPhones?
No, it's on both the platforms.
Okay. Yeah, have it in iPhone.
You got it?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe I should try to.
Yeah.
I just became aware with your talk. That's the reason. Okay.
Some other curiosity? Not all? Okay. Thank you to all presenter. For me, it was an honor to be a chair to this session, poster session, and a great pleasure to meet you, although virtual. This year it is very particular year for pandemic, but I am very, very happy to have this opportunity to meet in our symposium. And I hope that you are joining our conference. And don't forget to follow our closing ceremony tomorrow at 2 p.m. And enjoy our symposium. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thanks to you.
Thank
You're a
you.
great
Oh,
session
see
chair.
you
Good to see you, Claudio.
Bye.
Bye.
See you,
Bye.
Isabella.
Bye.
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 Bye. Stay safe. Take care, everyone. Bye.